And I know that you actually do believe that there may have been a more powerful hand behind the interest in your personal life or taking you down. So explain what you think, what your belief is.
Well, so Dan Evans, who is the reporter for the Byline Times, who authored these stories, was with one other man, Megyn. He is, and by the way, Byline Times doesn't reveal this on their stories. He is the UK's most prolific phone hacker. He is a convicted criminal who avoided jail despite being the most prolific phone hacker across the Sunday Mirror and News of the World titles. I'm sure you remember, Megyn, but for folk who don't, this was a huge scandal in the UK that shut down the News of the World, Rupert Murdoch's Sunday newspaper, in 2011. Now, I was working there at the time. Dan Evans, in order to avoid jail, he turned on all of the folk who had been hacking phones with him at these two newspapers. I was not working there at the time. I testified in the Leveson inquiry that I never was involved in hacking a phone or any illegal activity during my time at any newspapers, and I stand by that. So my conscience on this is incredibly clear. But Dan Evans was a phone hacker. He was a very prolific phone hacker. Because he turned on the newspapers, Megyn, he ended up in a very interesting spot where the people who want to destroy the free press in the UK, largely led by this lawyer called David Sherborne, who represents folk like Elton John and Prince Harry, all of a sudden were very interested in him. So Dan Evans is like the ultimate poacher turned gamekeeper. He was the hacker who actually did all of this illegal stuff at the newspapers, and then has spent the past 10 years, he claims, trying to atone for his crimes, but effectively working with these celebrities who feel that they were hacked. Well, guess who the most famous person he's been working with who wants to bring down the free press in the UK? A certain Prince Harry. Now, I know for a fact that Dan Evans was at court with Prince Harry last year when Prince Harry went to court, you remember, in a case against the Daily Mirror, which is largely driven by Prince Harry's absolute hatred of Piers Morgan, who was an editor at the Daily Mirror at the time. So he was at court with Harry. And further, Megyn, I have learned that Prince Harry has been in negotiations over a number of months to sit down with this crazy organization, Byline Times, which are completely unregulated and full of mad people, for a tell-all interview. So my very strong...
Wait, just to be clear, so if that's true, then that would be the fifth in line for the throne sitting down with a convicted felon for an interview?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know whether Dan Evans himself is going to conduct that interview, but Dan Evans and Prince Harry have been in communication. He was at court with Prince Harry. He has worked closely with Prince Harry's legal teams on his cases versus the Daily Mirror. And there's another one coming versus News UK, which was the publisher of News of the World, and also the Daily Mail. So for people who say, and there are lots of people, Megyn, who say, oh, don't be so ridiculous, Dan, as if Harry gives a damn about any of this. Well, seriously, you don't know Prince Harry. The mission of Harry's life is now to bring down his enemies in the British media. And who are the two most high-profile enemies of Prince Harry? Myself and Piers Morgan. And if you look closely at the coverage in Byline Times of Piers Morgan, Megyn, they have been calling for the Metropolitan Police. So here is again, Byline Times weaponizing the British justice system. They are calling for the police, the Metropolitan Police, to reopen the criminal investigation into Piers Morgan's hacking of phones at the Daily Mirror, or the alleged hacking of phones. Now, do you know what I would say about that?
So just to be clear, though, these are your beliefs. You know, you report for a fact that they've been at least in contact, that this guy at Byline Times has been in contact with Harry's legal team because you saw them in court together. You believe that they've been in communication beyond that for an interview, which would be extraordinary, I think, for Prince Harry to be speaking to, you know, a group that's not perhaps that well known or respected. That's my impression from our discussion. And we know that Prince Harry, I mean, I've experienced that myself, and just in watching their lashing out and there are many lawsuits against the media. They're very litigious, and he and Megyn have filed multiple lawsuits against media figures trying to shut down publications or punish publications that come out with pieces that they disapprove of. And you believe that there's a chance he's behind this, that he's either just only too happy to see the Byline Times go after you, or maybe even inspired it?
Indeed, because remember, there's another aspect to the story, which is that Prince Harry admitted in his book Spare that at the Sandringham Summit, now remember, this was the big meeting that was called by the late Queen after I'd revealed that Harry and Meghan wanted to leave the British royal family, and it caused this constitutional crisis at the time. Harry admits in his book that one of the main conversations between William and Harry on the day was regarding my reporting, because Harry had this belief that I was being, and we've spoken about it before on your show, Megyn, but that I was being leaked stories by people within the royal family. And again, Harry, feeding information to Byline Times, has spent years attempting to publish the story. They actually ran it on their front page. You had to get deep, deep down into their 10,000-word missive until you actually reach the fact that these claims have been investigated thoroughly, again, by the royal family and the police, Megyn. And again, there was no truth to it. So Harry was unable to file his legal case against me. But this just paints a picture of how desperate Harry is to bring down his enemies within the British press. Now, when it comes to me, I find it quite extraordinary, because what did I do? I reported the truth. I mean, no one has denied any of my stories. And of course, I was talking to everyone. I was talking to people close to Charles. I was talking to people close to the late Queen. I was talking to people close to William. But I was also speaking to people close to Meghan and Harry. That's my job, Megyn. I was a journalist. That is not illegal.
Well, you've been hearing me rave about Cozy Earth for a couple of years now, and for good reason. Talking about how incredibly soft and luxurious their sheets are. I am not alone, of course. They have thousands of customers who have left 5-star reviews on their website, including this one from Hallie. Quote, "Honestly, the best sheets we have ever had. Absolutely a dream to slip into each night. Everyone deserves to splurge on these sheets, and you will have no regrets." Cozy Earth sheets, available now in 15 awesome colors, are made from viscose from bamboo, making them temperature regulating so you will sleep cool and comfy year-round. Cozy Earth even offers a 100-night sleep trial. Sleep on them, wash them, try them out, and if you're not completely in love, send them on back in within 100 days for a full refund. Experience life-changing luxury with the world's softest sheets. Go to CozyEarth.com, enter my promo code Megyn at checkout to save up to 35% on Cozy Earth's bedding, pajamas, bath towels, loungewear, and more. CozyEarth.com, promo code MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.